Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Guten Tag.
Welcome. No.
Welcome to Gory Storytime. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig.
And this week,
we're going to review...
I think this is the first time we've done this.
What?
A completely foreign subtitled film on the show.
That's not true. We did... I'm pretty sure we did
not do Veronica. I looked earlier, and we did not do Veronica.
Okay.
Because we would have shared it.
Because I thought we talked a lot of smack about it. But...
in person, to each other.
We read the crap out of this movie last night, and
we
get into that later.
Well, it kept us interested enough to watch the whole movie and come here and review it.
Well, we were running out of time and needed to watch something, so we would have had to finish it even if we...
We could have found something else.
Shut up! The basic premise is there's two twin boys and their mother. They live in Germany. They speak German. They do German things. No, it starts off with a mother acting very strange to her twin children. She treats one very different from the other. And she has been in some sort of accident where her face is completely covered at the beginning of the film. And the boys start to question if the mother was really the mother or if it was someone else.
Right.
Because of the way she's treating them differently and because they can't tell with her face covered
if she's mom, right?
Yeah. That's the basic premise. So let's roll that trailer.
Mama? Ist so anders. Ja, wie würdest du dich fühlen, wenn du von so einer Operation zurückkommst? Wer ist das? Du bist nicht unsere Mama. Bitte komm zurück, Mama. Ich mache alles. Jetzt kann sie uns nicht mehr auseinanderhalten.
Guten Abend, gute Nacht, wie Nacht, mit Mäglein bestellt, schlug unter die Nacht.
All right.
Looks good. You know why?
You're really not,
Good
like,
at keeping that a secret.
you're the type of guy that goes, I'm about to buy you the best present. Check out what it is. You dumbass. Anyway, before we get into the behind the scenes stuff, we have to give a shout out to our actual sponsors. These are real things that actually exist, that pay us lots of money to advertise for them. Quote. Gory Story Time is brought to you by the Cuss Word Translator app. Have you been to Germany and needed to cuss out someone on the Autobahn? Maybe someone in Italy stole your wallet, and what do you yell at them to let them know how you feel about it? The Cuss Word Translator app has swears in 50 plus languages and more being added every month. Find the Cuss Word Translator app in your app store today because when sie nicht ficken sie.
Yeah, what he said. And by the new series, Twinsanity, the hour-long slapstick comedy about Will and Dave, twins who both snap and become serial killers. Hilarity ensues when their mother moves in after the death of her husband. Can these vicious psychopaths keep their literal skeletons in the closet while dealing with a doting mom hovering over them? Twinsanity. If you think the murderers are crazy, wait till you meet their mother. Check out your local listings.
Check your locals.
Yes.
All right. Now, we just wait for the big fat checks to roll in. Let's give them some behind the scenes info. There wasn't a whole lot, so we're gonna just
The
have to
meat
talk
and beef.
we're gonna have to talk a little more about
Yes.
our thoughts than normal.
So I'll start because I have the one extra. The actors were not given the script, and the movie was filmed chronologically.
Suzanne Woost, I don't know, lived alone for 3 months to prepare for the role, often completely swaddling herself in bandages. She also kept 2 pet cockroaches.
240 twins were auditioned for the main roles.
First of all, 2 is twins. 240 is way more than twins. And by the way, that poor woman.
Yes. Next.
And did that mean she gave birth to 240 at a time, or was it 240 twins, which means actually 480 children? Her poor vagina.
No wonder she's been in an accident.
Anyway, the bottom line of the credits says, shot in glorious 35 millimeter. Wow, they dug deep to get some background info on this
right?
one, huh?
The film was selected as the Austrian entry for the Best Foreign Language Film at the 88th Academy Awards, but it did not receive a nomination.
Well, so in other words, we said, isn't this good? And people went, nope. That's not really info.
Nope.
Like, we could submit this show to Netflix and be like, shouldn't this be something you pay us to do? And if they don't respond, it doesn't mean that it's worth talking about.
No.
And they're not handing out all the shows anymore, because otherwise it'd be like, The names of the twin boys were Elias and Lucas, the same as the names of the actors who played them. Now, here's my theory on that. There are times when, especially with kids, they will try to use their real names when they're acting,
Right.
so that it's easier. Because, like, if the kid's name is Dave and you say Dave, he's more apt to say yes. But if you say Bill, he'll be like, who the fuck is Bill?
Yeah, good point. Goodnight Mommy was the second Austrian Oscar submission starring Suzanne Woost.
Yeah.
The first was
She's the worst.
Gotts Spielman's Anters.
You're good at the languages, huh? Gott Spielman's Antars. I don't know. I don't speak German either. But yeah, here's the thing. So what they're saying is she's been in 2 movies that have been submitted and not
denied.
So they backed up the last one you said with, yeah, she was in another thing that also didn't.
Get nominated.
It's so stupid. In the movie whole time, what? In the movie whole time, someone word writes wrongly. The difference between the twins. Okay, so the whole time in the movie, the only difference between the twins, I'll say it in English, Elias is left-handed and Lucas is right-handed. It's shown many times, like when they ate sausage through hailstones or opened doors, brushing teeth, etc. But now I'll read it the way they did and see if you would have been as good as I was at translating. In the movie whole time, the difference between twins is Elias is left-handed and Lucas is right-handed. These is shown many times like eating sausage, throwing hailstone, opening doors, brushing teeth, etc.
That was terrible. That was awful. That was bad. And
I'm sure it was translated from like another language. I really.
Oh yeah, probably. And a goof.
Or a mentally deficient child reviewed it. It could have been that. Did you write that?
This?
No, that.
No. I was like, no, I didn't write this. Okay. The film goes to some lengths to avoid any physical interaction between Lucas and any other object or character other than Elias, unless only Elias is present. But the film breaks this rule when they glue the mother's mouth. One boy holds her lips while the other applies the glue.
Except that's not true. If you look close, the one applying the glue is doing that with one hand, holding the lips with the other hand, and the other kid is also holding the lips. Meaning, well, that's going to give away the ending. By the way, one of the kids isn't real. There, spoiler. Well, if we're gonna have this conversation, they need to know. And that's why I wasn't trying to have this conversation, dumbass.
Whatever.
So now we've spoiled it. Watch it anyway, it's good.
It is really
It's like
good.
The Sixth Sense meets, I don't know.
Germany.
Hostel?
Oh my god, yeah, with the violence?
Yeah.
This is a very violent movie. And not just towards people.
So I'm not kidding. It's kind of like The Sixth Sense meets Hostel.
Yes. And it's amazing.
It's weird that is a fit for a description of anything, but all right. Let's give the ratings.
Oh, yeah.
According to Rotten Tomatoes, the people have it at 65%, which I think is rather low.
And the critics have it at 86%.
Which makes more sense.
Which makes much more sense.
It's weird that the critics have it higher, probably because a lot of times you'll notice, depending on the topic or if there's a reason to, the critics, if they're being woke, will give more credit. It's a film from anywhere other than the United States. Of course they're going to give it more credit.
What was that other one that we liked, or we started and were liking? But the right ones, the not English version was not rated high.
And that's inaccurate.
Neither version were rated high.
Yeah, but the one that you had to read was rated higher.
Whatever.
Again, I said they give some points for that.
That's dumb.
Yeah, well, they let politics decide. Like, Dave Chappelle and his new special is rated really, really low.
By the critics.
By the critics, and the people have it really, really high. Some of the people are like, it's his best one yet. And the critics are like, this is awful. But AOC has a documentary that's rated 100% with the critics and like teens with the people.
Yeah.
So tell me that the politics didn't bleed into it. When I give my rating for this, it has nothing to do with any of that.
No.
I have my number, but I'll get to that when we get to that. What would you say should we go least to best? Or?
Yeah, let's go least to
All right,
best.
what was your least favorite thing?
My least favorite thing, of all of the terrible things that happened in this movie, my least favorite were these Red Cross people. They decided to show up at the height of the kid
And the tension.
is torturing his mom and tying her to the bed and gluing her
Okay,
mouth
don't
shut.
get into all of the stuff.
Well, I'm just
No.
saying.
The point is, at a height of tension, Red Cross people show up. You don't have to describe everything else.
Yes.
We've already spoiled
Dad.
some stuff. No. Would you think it's a good
Dad?
idea for people to watch this?
Yes.
Then shut the hell up about everything else that you're
It's my
spoiling
show.
too.
And we give the spoiler warning. So these Red Cross people, they
You know,
show
I
up.
only say I'm, your co-host because I'm being polite, right?
This part can be cut. No, it can't.
When you move along, I'll just have Joey sit there. And when he gets too old,
So these Red Cross people.
I'll make another child just to do this. It's my show, bitch.
So these Red Cross people, they show up to the kid's house and they knock, no one answers, so they walk in.
No,
It was
the best-
open.
yeah.
What?
You hear rattle, rattle. It was open. No, the hell it wasn't.
And then they're
Then
like,
they were like,
hey, should we wait here?
They're like, someone must
Outside.
be here because the door's unlocked. That's
Well, we know
not
that
how
'cause you
doors work.
Opened it.
And also, not always accurate. Some people leave the house with their doors unlocked when they live in the middle of effing nowhere.
Like these people.
Where was the closest house? Right.
miles away?
Basically,
But it was open.
Probably
so they just
thought it-
walked in.
Yeah, that-
and I hated
that
it.
annoyed me too. But the part that I liked less was when they glued the mouth shut. Since you already talked about that in one of the facts, and you talked about that when you're talking about something else, because you're an ass. Because it wasn't when the mouth was glued shut, if you remember, because she
Oh
had
no,
the
taped. Never mind.
But when the mouth was glued shut, they decided they wanted to talk to the mom, so took scissors to try to cut through all the super glue that had been like completely surrounding
Oh my
her
goodness.
mouth.
So much.
And they were cutting slow and then jabbed and just it stabbed her and she went "Rah!" and it ripped it apart and her lips were like shredded and blood was just gushing and it just looked so painful.
And it was pretty realistic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's my least favorite because I don't like the scene. I'm saying it's my least favorite because it was
you
so
can't
disturbing.
imagine having
I don't
that
have to
happen.
imagine
Right.
because it looked like I never would have imagined what that looked like. But once I
Until-
saw it, I'm like, that would be it. That's what it
Yes.
would look like.
Yes.
So, ugh.
Yes. Okay, my favorite scene, right?
Yes.
That's where we are. It has to do with their cat. Okay.
Their cat, that wasn't their cat really because they weren't allowed to have pets, even though they had, 800 cockroaches?
And other assorted bugs in the same tank.
Well, there were some worms and
It was
stuff. but
weird.
It was
It was
mostly
roaches.
Madagascar cockroaches because they were the ones that scream and made all the noise. Ugh.
Yeah, that was creepy. But the spoiler alert, because we already said this, the dead kid basically leads Elias was the living one. Elias to
You're thinking
Find-
of E.T. Elliot.
close.
It's Elias, though.
Whatever. But he leads the living one to a dead cat. And then they sit there and mourn it for like 3 minutes, crying about the dead cat that I don't think was theirs. And then they put it in a fish tank and fill it with.
No. Get it right. They come in, they fill a gas tank. It looks like water on the screen, except it was not.
It was not.
It was clear combustible fluid. It wasn't gasoline because it was clear.
Right, so it was probably like kerosene or something.
But it was clear.
It
the point.
was clear, and they put the
Looked
cat,
like
the
water.
dead cat, in it.
We didn't know it was combustible until at the end when it combusted.
Right. But everything that had to do with the cat.
But the cat
in
was
the
just
tank,
like in it, like floating in what we thought was water at the time. And that was one of the many times we said the same quote over and over. What the F? Like over and over. I probably said that 30 times watching this movie.
or more.
And you said it too, so yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just said F when earlier the actual word had slipped out, but what do I know?
What? You're just an asshole, and this is just not your show. So,
See, again, you're wrong.
so to the side of the screen.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
We're not there yet. Oh yeah, we rate the show.
Can I say my favorite part?
No, apparently not. Yes, what is your favorite?
Thank you for paying attention. You don't even watch these shows. And he understood where we were. My favorite part was that at the end, you were talking with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she said that what we were saying wasn't what it was. And she had, even though she hadn't seen it, she was told something about what it was. And you started believing her because, and I actually used my eyes and brain. But the point is, my favorite part.
Wow.
My favorite part was that we both watched it and can debate what we thought actually happened because some of it was ambiguous.
Right.
Even though I think it was pretty clear that you're an idiot. The point is, it was ambiguous enough that two people could watch it and still go, well, I think what it showed us was this. And you were like, well, my girlfriend told me to say what I think it was
No.
this. That's what happened. You
Not
agreed
at
with me
all.
right up until she's like, I heard it was this. And you're like, yeah, that's what it is, Dad.
No. No. Not at all.
Oh, I forgot. You don't get the whoosh. So it's weird that it's just the tsh.
I don't get it.
That's what I'm saying.
No. I didn't believe what she was saying until I looked it up and a bunch of people were like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
it's either this or this.
Wait. You mean people on the internet got information wrong? Weird.
Not wrong. Ambiguous.
Anyway, my point is, it was cool that we could have an argument like this after having literally just finished watching it together.
And it's, even
No,
though
I'm
you say that,
not trying
it's
to have-
like, what?
I'm not trying to actually have the debate. I'm
No, I'm
saying
not saying
that's
that.
what I like about
I'm not
it.
saying that. I'm saying
Even though
legitimately.
when you watch it, if you watch it, which I suggest you watch it, please send an email to the email address when it pops up explaining why I'm right and he's an idiot.
Even though we're not saying what the argument actually is?
Just in the, yeah, because I just say I'm right.
That's bull. So we have to rate the show
Yeah.
or the movie.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I would give it a 9.5.
9.5.
9.5.
If it wasn't for all that reading, it would be a 10.
Yeah, actually.
Dumbass.
No.
I like to read, not my movies though. I like to read books.
I
like to
don't.
read magazines and comics and books, but not so much my
Whatever.
movies. But I thought I give it a 9.
I mean, out of all of the read movies that I've had to see, this
It's
is
been a while
like the
since I
second
sat
best
down
one.
and like I guessed
Okay.
part of it near the beginning,
Yeah.
even like probably a half hour into the 2-hour movie, or almost 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, even though I guessed that part, I still was shocked and surprised by many things.
Okay. So, to that side of the screen, yes, you can watch this show on Fact TV Channel 8, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can email us at gorystorytime@yahoo.com.
You can like us on Facebook.
You can also go to fact8.com. You can like Fact TV on Facebook, which means if you're watching this live stream,
Yeah.
and if you're not, you can. It's usually on Fridays that we film, and it's usually 3:30-ish, between 3:30 and 4. So if you're interested in the show and you want to see it live streamed, that's where you can go.
Yes. We have Twitters.
Yep.
I'm at Jason T. Jakes, capital J, capital D, capital J. He's
I'm
at
Craig Jakes, all one word,
all
all lowercase.
lowercase.
We don't really talk about the show, but you can. And I have a YouTube channel. Just look up Juggalo Jakes, all one word. And we've got videos. I got music videos. I got episodes of this, episodes of Daddy Issues, a bunch of other stuff.
So, Until next time, I'm your host, Jason,
I'm his co-host, yeah right, and Father Craig.
and sweet dreams.